be a very interesting matchup. It can get very grindy, and Leonardo won the roll. Let's see. And we do see the Abakiri, one of the best starters of the deck. No Fuva loss from Philip, which means if this is uninterrupted, it's pretty much all you need to go for a nice turn one combo.
Absolutely, and you mentioned the Fuvalos, which is very important in this matchup because, I mean, it kinda stops your opponent from going into the full field, or at least thinking twice about it before going into it. And speaking about some interesting card, there is the Impulse that you want to activate there, and indeed, we are going to chain Impulse to the Ritual spell. So does Leonardo have a second one, or will he try another thing? It will be the Prayers instead.
Yep. Know about Prayers, and I mean that's still gonna be pretty good for Leonardo. Not gonna get stopped quite here. The two Italians, first and second after Swiss, Diego and Leonardo, could face off in an all-Italian finals, while on the other side, of course, Philip representing Germany, and obviously Luca on the other end representing France.
Here gets to summon the Kusanagi, and I mean, we've mentioned this, honestly, apart from the Mulcharmis and the Impulse, you honestly also have the Ash Blossom into the Mitsurugi deck, but it doesn't seem like as if Philip has any sort of interruption as is allowing Leonardo to combo off. And honestly, I mean, yeah, I mean, we have been seeing this multiple times this week and just getting access to the Futso as well, and pretty much also your setup with the Murakumo as well pretty much soon.
Yeah, we have already seen one of these effects, so we are gonna use the other one, getting this Murakumo from deck. And then we are gonna get a search from the Futsu, which is gonna be the mirror, probably to try and bring the Futsu back.
Absolutely, so this is very standard here, and the Impulse was activated, but of course was not enough. Even if it is a very good card, if it is the only card that you have, I mean, it's probably not going to be enough to just stop the entire deck, unless this is a very breaky hand. But it is not the case here, and Leonardo is just gonna continue comboing. And speaking about the mirror, I mean, it is sometimes difficult to just get rid of the field. So there are some ways to get rid of it, but usually you need some field breaker. So Super Polymerization is a very good card against the deck, but you also have some other ways. Of course, if you want to deal with Dispel and Trap, we've seen that before against Lucas previously, but the combination of some Lightning Storm and Feather is very good because you get rid of the Spell and Trap negation, and also all the Spell and Traps in the Spell and Trap zone.
I also like this start from Leonardo. I mean, conservative, I would say, just not putting too much on the field, especially because, as you mentioned, he might have noticed that Philip was indeed playing at this point in the tournament Mitsurugi, and they might have also seen it next to each other throughout the entire tournament, and Super Polymerization is, of course, one of those cards that in the main deck is present.
Yeah, I mean, it has been a card that has been played in the main deck by a lot of our duelists this week, and makes so much sense. You can pretty much find a use in every single matchup, and that could be the key to this mirror match here from Leonardo, choosing to main 3 copies of that quick spell card.
And this is very powerful, not only against Mitsurugi, but also against a lot of decks. For now, we decided to normal summon the Sagi, and I mean, it's always the same thing. When I watch some Mitsurugi Enfield, I see only a Futsu and sometimes paired with an IP Masquerena. It doesn't look scary, but indeed it is, because it applies so much pressure on the opponent, on Philip right now.
Yeah. Futsu, very unique card, not once per turn, only once per chain, and you know, if you're not careful with your sequencing, in a moment Leonardo can just find himself summoning more and more cards from the graveyard.
Yeah, at some point it just becomes out of control.
Yeah, but here comes the first play from Philip, his own... Oh, his own Impulse though from Leonardo.
Very good card indeed in the mirror match, and it is a way better impulse than Philip's one because, of course, there is a complete field, so it's going to be very hard for Philip to navigate through the rest of the interruptions.
Indeed, how do we continue this? Do we have also a prayer? And it's gonna just be the Abakiri.
Which is fine, which
Yeah,
is a
good.
fine way to extend the plays.
Ooh, do we actually? Oh, we have our own super polymerization.
Getting rid of the Pot of Prosperity.
I mean, we've
Wow.
talked about that, and that is a great card indeed against the mirror match. And we are going to have the Mud Dragon on the field, getting rid of the IP Masquerina as well, of the very, very oppressive Futsu.
Yeah, that's big. We were talking about Leonardo's super polymerization, but here comes Philip with his own copy. And yeah, I mean, discarding Pot of Prosperity might signal also that we will try and push for game here.
Especially because if you get rid of Prosperity, I think the other remaining card in hand must be better than it, because otherwise you will not be getting rid of it.
Makes sense.
Yeah, right?
Fair enough.
And now, of course, we are watching the extra deck, and I have the feeling that we wanted to go into maybe an Xyz play.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw it. Okay, so
Yeah, it is a good card, I can confirm.
Yeah.
I mean, this is quite a different play. Instead, going for the dark, switching things up, and yeah,
I mean, it makes sense.
absolutely.
You have the ability to just target the Futsu or the IP Masquerina, both being very good.
And instead, it's gonna be the
It's going to be the Murakumo.
I mean, also makes a lot of sense, because here, as we can see, we are gonna use the prayer, not tributing, and Philip has a very interesting decision, but no, I think he let it go. Yep. And this means that, as you can see, the dark is gonna resolve without effect. Leonardo pays 800, and then, I mean, has an interesting decision as well, whether he wants to use this Murakumo.
I mean, I think you don't want to use it, because if you use it, then you just give another card to Philip, and it might be just a discard fodder for the Murakumo's effect.
Does.
But it does use it, so he wants to get rid of the link too.
And now he could use the effect to discard, but no, he's gonna be patient with it.
Now we're going to be able to search another card, get a little bit more advantage.
Yeah, Dark is really, really good in this matchup, because, you know, although even the Murakumo itself, as we can see here, 3200 attack, but Dark checks the defense and it's only 800, so it is a valid target indeed. And now comes the ritual. We're gonna chain the Murakumo, forcing a discard, and
This is fine, and I think that we are just gonna resolve the chain, I guess.
yeah, he's thinking now because he's got both Abakiri and Murakumo, so he's probably thinking about one of the two to discard, and which he wants to summon. You can see debating a bit. Yep, it is.
Okay.
So, okay, fair enough. We are discarding the Murakumo for our opponents and then tributing Abakiri for our own Murakumo from deck. One card in hand from Philip, and now he will search yet another one, having tributed the Abakiri.
I mean, we talked about how difficult and sometimes, you know, complicated the Mitsurugi mirror match is, especially because of all of this interruption. You really need to make sure you don't make any mistakes, because like at any point in time, also the super polymerization could be there, and I really feel like, especially in this spot, Leonardo, I think, is left with one card in hand.
We try to win here, possibly.
Yeah, exactly.
Or,
you just want to try and push, honestly.
Because, I mean, double Murakumo is exactly game, but instead we go last moment for Abakiri. that was like the easiest way around it, I guess. But the unknown card will be a pretty good one to stop this from being game, given that Leonardo has a card in hand, which I believe is the case. He's kind of, you know, covering that with his hands. But yeah, there it is.
Yeah, there is one.
Because I'm pretty sure there were 2 copies of that super polymerization.
Oh, yeah?
So one should be in hand and one should be face down, I believe.
think so as well.
Wow, that will hurt so much.
Yeah, because this is, again, there was a very easy game for Philip to just double Murakumo. But instead, no, we are gonna miss out on it. But here comes his own super polymerization. Wow.
And you could tell that Philip was not expecting it at all, because, you know, after you see one copy, honestly, it's just something that you don't expect.
But now Leonardo is on 0 cards. It's gonna take a very nice draw off the top. This is the kind of Yu-Gi-Oh! That gets us excited, and it's a Fuvalos, but that's good enough to go into your own dark, possibly. And then get a draw.
You get a draw out of it, and you just try to get back in the game, but instead, I think it is going to be the SP. So we are going to try to control the game.
But that's gonna get punished here, because Weekend Chain called by the Grave denying this draw.
I think the call by is banished, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, not gonna spot it.
Shouldn't be all that relevant in this matchup. I mean, solid attempt by Leonardo. But yeah, this is gonna be much better for Philip, who has this opportunity getting back the prayers, and Leonardo is left with nothing here.
And we are going to get a draw. Now Philip is in the driving seat with only an SP to beat and no cards in hand for Leonardo.
And this is absolutely brutal. We can use the additional effect of prayers now, adding the Futsu and bringing back any of our rituals. Of course, it's going to be the Murakumo, because without cards in hand, it's essentially a negate for anything, so you can use the effect.
Yeah.
And that is it. Leonardo sees the writing. Here we are. Leonardo once again going first and opening a lot of trap cards. Do we have a starter?
Does he have it?
Wow.
Speaking of trap cards, Philip has the purification.
Okay. Do we have a starter? Okay, there is a pre-prep, but is that going to resolve? You just here, and it does. Wow. I mean, a bit of a jump scare here from Leonardo. I'm sure opening his hand, seeing a lot of trap cards. But luckily, one of the best cards. And again, a few questions. Drone Lockbird is an option. Not going to be the case. And that's great news.
If this goes through, honestly, with the trap cards being drawn from Leonardo, this is great, to be fair.
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
I think he also had the Solemn Judgment.
Yeah, I was thinking the same. I do think he has that one of Solemn Judgment, now limited, but still very powerful going first.
Absolutely, it feels great to have those traps when you can just get some engine resolving. And of course, he wanted the pre-prep to resolve. The pre-prep is such a great card.
Impulse? No.
Nothing.
Wow. That's such great news. I mean, we all know the feeling. I mean, when you look at your hand, you see one starter and you're like, please, please resolve, please resolve, please resolve. And it does, you know, that changes everything, because at that point, if you have a one-card combo, all of those traps really become a plus, as Alberto was saying. You can make a much, much stronger field.
Yeah, I mean, imagine if the preparation of Reds would have been stopped. Here we would have seen two set cards pass.
Yeah, pretty much. And now, actually, if you are uninterrupted, we can access Fossil Dyna, possibly. So
you like that card?
I do. You can tell, huh?
I love it as well. I mean, just seeing it in 2025, honestly, it's and you can also like search it. It's great. Yeah.
I mean,
but I like the secret rare more, honestly, than the other rarities, for sure.
Lucas had the secret rare, so the original printing.
It deserves some respect, you know. Once you play it, you need to
True that.
You need to. And here comes, you know, the usual starting combo with the Futsu. And I think, if we can just, I guess use maybe prayers or get to this other level for body. It's what makes the most sense to me with this opener. I mean, what else are you gonna do, really? Using your normal on Fossil Dyna feels so strong, especially with the Solemn. I think it's basically checkmate.
Yeah.
Unless they go for... The only way out is usually outside of, obviously, you know, the multiple Lightning Storm thing.
Double Lightning Storm, Feather Duster.
Like, usually you just normal and attack over, and if you have Solemn for the normal, that's it. And I think something's going on in the backup, because I'm hearing the crowd go crazy, so I'll try to give you guys an update.
And
it's 1-1, so the backup is already going to the game 3 meanwhile. And there it is. So the Granite possibly searching for this Fossil Dyna. There it is.
And I think this is by far the best opener we have had of Mitsurugi on stream.
Yeah.
Because I think he has everything. I think he's gonna set 3.
Yeah.
And there is the Fossil Dyna, which is gonna backed up by some Solemns. Look
4.
at this 4
I mean,
cars face down.
How do you beat that? How do you beat that?
I think you don't.
Yeah, and especially I think with the end from Philip, it's I think only engine. Do we have something going? Maybe the pot, and that's it.
It's a great way. Remember previously we've seen a pot not negated and drawing 2 outs out of the deck.
Yeah.
I mean,
but you know what's the difference here? We have both the Purification and Solemn, so I think you even have more reason to possibly negate the pot, but we do not negate it again. And
I
think the draws are not as good as they were before.
Definitely are not as good.
Yeah.
This could be a quick one from Philip. Mulcharmi drawn way too late, and yeah, what can you even do? This pre-prep is absolutely fine for Leonardo. It does nothing except for filling the deck. And
yeah, I mean, he needs to find a way to out the Fossil Dyna first of all, I don't think that is gonna be the case because there's so much protection from Leonardo's.
I absolutely do not see it.
I mean, you don't need to do anything unless you see a now to Fossil Dyna, and for now this isn't the case.
And yeah, we're just gonna use a prayer, probably try to normal summon to attack over it, and I believe once Leonardo shows this Solemn, the game will be over from Philip. Yeah, there it is. Are we just gonna use the Solemn Judgment to stop it?
I mean, this Sagi is not gonna stay there for sure.
No, okay.
Oh.
We just let it through.
Interesting.
Yeah. I guess again, maybe a matter of knowledge, but definitely gonna be an interesting one. And I guess here is where the game will be over, because we do have Purification, we do have Solemn, and yeah, here comes the Purification, and yeah, Philip picks up his cards. Nice fist pump, and for one of these amazing duelists, the journey will be over. 16 rounds already done, but only one more game remains.
It looks like a pretty good hand for Philip right now, even having the Ash Blossom for the Fugalos.
Ash Blossom gonna be used here to stop the prayers, and that doesn't quite stop the entire interaction as we tributed 1.
Absolutely, so we are going to get some engine from the Sagi, which is still good, and I've seen some other very good cards in Philip's hand.
Yep.
So he's going to be able to keep going without any problem. Getting here the Great Purification.
Wow. I mean, that's a bad sign. If we opponent adds it immediately, like...
That's a statement.
Yeah.
And yeah, of course, indeed, we have the pre-prep. We would have liked to ash that one, but Philip using before the prayers to just bait the ash and get the pre-prep unpunished.
Yeah, playing around draw and lock, using the prayers in the draw phase, and now it's the first instance in which we could see it. Not gonna be the case. There are no more interruptions in form of entraps from Leonardo. So from this point on, Philip can just do his own thing.
So the question is going to be, are we going to see the same thing as before? Are we going to see a full Mitsurugi uninterrupted field and therefore almost unbeatable? That is the question. I mean, before there was the solemn judgment to just back it up a little bit more, but with the Great Purification, it is still very, very good. But in the hand of Leonardo, I've seen a card that we've seen before, the Pot of Extravagance, to just look for and search those very specific answers. I mean, the Lightning Storm, the super polarization, and also the Feather Duster.
Yeah, it seems like every time they went first and interrupted, Pot of Extravagance was there as a response.
Yeah.
But is it really going to be enough? It was never negated up until point, so I'm curious to see whether Philip is also of this team or he's going to do his own thing. But yeah, he's definitely going to go uninterrupted here, as you can see. And we can expect very similar opener. As we have mentioned, he is also on the Fossil Dyna, and Purification was added at the start of the turn, so what more can you expect?
Yeah, it's going to be very hard. It's going to be a full field, of course. And the question is going to be, does Leonardo open those specific cards?
Yeah, I mean, it's rough, even because while you may only have Purification, and then again, that decision about the Extravagance is tough. You mentioned it, Jean-Alexis, there is Ash Blossom, and that's, I think, such an easy, pick to negate that draw too.
I mean, you don't want to let it resolve if you have an Ash Blossom, because of course, I mean...
And there it is.
Yeah, once again, the strategy of the Fossil Dyna is going to be there. We are going to normal summon the dinosaur.
I mean, that's the goal. You essentially go for it as soon as you can, and I mean, it must be feeling great if your opponent doesn't stop you from this point on. Like,
I mean, it must be a little bit scary as well, because he might have some answers, you know.
Ah, yeah,
We've seen
potentially,
that
like,
before.
Still the Extravagance
We never
could
know.
resolve.
It could.
Draw 2 cards.
It might not, but it could.
Yeah, I mean, something that is not so usual is also Nibiru, which, it's not that great against Mitsurugi, but it's something you could go for before they make the Fossil Dyna, but I mean, it's not really going to be that effective, so that's not going to be the case, I mean, regardless of who's going to make it, if you're watching this, you might want to go check our vendors at YCS LILLE for some original printing of Fossil Dyna before it skyrockets, I guess. Yeah. In the meantime, our backup future match is also going strong at it. They are also on game 3, so we might find out both finalists soon enough, but no, we're gonna switch things up here. Going for, wow.
Very interesting.
That is the first time we see
Pot of
number
Extravagance
38,
may not resolve, though.
No, it may not. But this is very interesting because it allows you to have another layer of interruption against those cards, those specific cards that we have talked about. Of course, the Lightning Storm and the Feather Duster. And if you have like the Great Purification and also here the number 38, I mean, this is huge. This is huge.
Yeah.
And also the Ash Blossom in hand.
Amazing.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. This is absolutely amazing. We have Ash Blossom on top.
Immediately, he doesn't even think about it twice. He just put the Ash Blossom in the graveyard, and now you have to deal with everything. Yeah. It might be very difficult for Leonardo. He's at the doors of the final in the game 3 of the top 4, but this is so difficult right now. 4 cards in hand because he used the Ash Blossom earlier during the turn of Philip, and I mean, this is almost impossible.
And it is impossible indeed.